I'm well aware that the number one issue with the stats program is simply getting players to enter their stats. It does require a little effort. Finally, the players that I've worked with for a number of years through junior golf and college golf are turning professional and kicking butt. I can start to use their names to inspire you, but more importantly, I can start to show you the work that leads to becoming great and winning championships. I want to start off by making one thing really clear to my Twitter haters who say that all I do is try to take credit for my players' successes. It is not true. I am trying, like any instructor does, to get my players to understand that they need to commit to certain processes, and the process that I teach is strategy, mindset, and statistics. I'm not taking credit for these players' play. I'm simply telling you to eat it. This is what they do, as you're about to learn. Let's start right here with an email I received last July. Hey Scott, I know you're very busy these days. Would you have time this upcoming week to look over my stats from this summer and share any observations you have with me? I've entered 16 rounds this summer, so not a huge sample size, but I want to know what I should focus on during practice leading into the Western and the US Amateur. Thank you. Now, I had a number of college players send me emails asking me, hey, I'm playing in the Susquehanna or the Northeast next week. Do you have the course outline or packet for that? But I only had one person actually ask me for input on their stats that they had been entering on their own that summer. Who was this madman? Shocker, it was the guy who lost the Western Am in the finals and won the US Amateur. Now, I'm by no means trying to say that Doc won the US Amateur because he entered his stats. Doc is really good at golf. That's why he won the US Amateur. What I want you to understand is Doc has the work ethic to input all of these rounds of golf on his own. His coach wasn't yelling at him to do it. He did it because he wants to be great. I asked Maverick if I could show how many rounds of data he's entered, and he said of course, but the thing he wanted me to point out was that he also journals 2 or 3 pages for every single tournament that he plays so he can have something to reflect back on down the road when things are either going good or bad. Here's Will Zalatoris, who actually enters his statistics into 2 portals because his former instructor insists on seeing his data in his interface, and Will likes mine more, so he enters it in both places. And last but not least, this is an 11-year-old girl. I don't want to sound sexist or ageist, but if an 11-year-old girl can track her stats while she's playing and enter them into a portal, can't you? This girl qualified for the US Junior at 11, made match play, and only missed the US Amateur match play by 2 shots. Stop telling me, your coach, or yourself that you want to be great if you're not willing to put in the work that great players do. You want to play on a Walker Cup? 6 of last year's 10 US team members have sat through the Decade Seminar and have tracked their stats in the Decade Portal. You want to win an NCAA championship? Winning it takes more than just the physical skills. It requires the patience, discipline, and understanding of course management in order to pull that off. Shoot, I honestly just found this email as I was looking for something else for this video to inspire you guys, but it's from this year's NCAA champion, and he sent me this in April of 2017. My name is Brock Everett, and I'm a redshirt junior for Augusta University in Augusta, Georgia. I just wanted to email and make contact with you about my success with the Decade system, because I think it has been one of the most important additions to my game over the past year. So now the real question is, how do we replicate all these players' successes? Well, I'm currently in love with Jocko Willing, so we're going to attack this problem the same way that he would. He says that the fundamental law of combat leadership is to prioritize and execute. And if you think about it, you are technically the leader of your golf game and your golf career. There's a couple things that stem from this idea. First of all, in order to prioritize your deficiencies, you need to know what those are. That is why you have to track your statistics. You need to know what you're good at and what you're bad at. Not what you think you're good or bad at, but what you're actually good and bad at. That's what the Decade Portal does, unlike any other stats program out there, is it compares you to your peer group, and it shows you where you're lacking in relation to scoring average to those people. That's how you'll learn what is the biggest problem facing you. Beyond that, I don't think that most players understand how much their course management is a problem and that it does need to be prioritized and worked on and focused on. If you put the real effort into studying the Decade tutorial videos, I promise you it will compress your learning curve from decades down to just months or even weeks. That's actually the reason that I called it the Decade System. Tell yourself the positive story that you can play with patience, discipline, and in complete control of your emotions. Stop getting mad at yourself for always making the same mistakes. Make a decision today that you're going to put in the work to turn the page and prioritize the art of scoring, and then just move on. Stop beating yourself up for repeated mistakes and for not controlling your emotions. And this can all be wrapped up by asking yourself, what do the best players do that I'm not currently doing also? Well, you've just learned. They prioritize strategy. They prioritize statistics. They go the extra steps to figure out what is costing them strokes via journaling, tracking statistics, and reflection away from the course, and then set a plan and fix it. I hope this has given you a little food for thought. Again, I'm not trying to take credit for people's good play. I'm just telling you the way that it works. This is how it works. I'm going to end this video with something from Jocko Willink, a video titled Good. And I want you to think of it not only in terms of life, but I want you to think of it in terms of golf. I made a double bogey on this hole. Good. Now I can show my coach how resilient I am. The school that I wanted to go to isn't offering me a scholarship. Good. I can go somewhere else and show them they made a big mistake. I'm worn out because there's just too much to do between golf and school and social life. Good. That means everyone else is feeling the same pressure and everyone else is going to cave into it, and I'm not. I hope you enjoyed this video. In my 45 years, it's one of the best videos I've ever seen for life, golf, for everything. If you take these principles and you apply them to your upcoming season, I promise you, your results are going to far surpass your goals and dreams.
One of my direct subordinates, one of my guys that worked for me, he would call me up or pull me aside with some major problem, some issue that was going on. And he'd say, boss, we got this and that and the other thing. And I'd look at him and I'd say, good. And finally one day he was telling me about some issue that he was having, some problem. And he said, I already know what you're going to say. And I said, well, what am I going to say? He said, you're going to say good. He said, that's what you always say. When something is wrong and going bad, you always just look at me and say good. And I said, well, yeah. When things are going bad, there's going to be some good that's going to come from it. Didn't get the new high-speed gear we wanted? Good. Didn't get promoted? Good. More time to get better. Oh, mission got canceled? Good. We can focus on another one. Didn't get funded. Didn't get the job you wanted. Got injured. Sprained my ankle. Got tapped out? Good. Got beat? Good. You learned. Unexpected problems? Good. We have the opportunity to figure out a solution. That's it. When things are going bad, don't get all bummed out. Don't get startled. Don't get frustrated. If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.